Good morning everyone, I'm back again, and this will be the third session since I've been here. Now, as you can probably see, I'll put into this film, the second session didn't really go according to plan. Probably the wrong time of day to set off, which was like midday, and with the temperatures soaring, it ended up being absolutely sweltering. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was the mark where I chose, Boulder Point, ended up becoming so weed infested that it was impossible to fish. So I had to knock it on the head. And yesterday conditions weren't any better. Sweltering heat again, and we had a drive out yesterday somewhere, and the weed was still very thick, and that was on the other side of the island. So what I've decided to do is come back to the mark I started on originally with the bass lures. I'm bringing the bait rods back today, and what I'm going to attempt to do is catch a bream. So yeah, as per usual, I took the information from the guy in the tackle shop, and also there's another guy who does YouTube videos on the island, which is Frugal Outdoors. I sort of reached out to him, and he came back with this point, definitely worth a go for a bream. So that's going to be the plan this morning. It's just after 4:30 in the morning, which is a bit of a bonus really, because I am actually on holiday, but there you go, needs must. So it's not going to be a massive session today. I'm probably going to do 3 or 4 hours. That way I'll be home in time for breakfast and get cleaned up, and probably find something to do today, go out somewhere. Or, as it's a Saturday, we may just hang around locally, because I think all the beaches and that will be very, very busy later on with the weather we've got forecast. And by the time this video comes out, you should have actually had a little bit better weather back in Norfolk. I'm going to fish 2 rods today, because I have actually got some ragworm left from the other session, and I've got obviously squid, which I bring all the time. So I'll probably fish 1 on each, small hooks on one, maybe a bigger bait on the other. Let's see how we go. So I'll just get finished setting up, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so normal sort of simple setup. I've got a 5 ounce lead on the bottom, and I've got on this one 2 sides 1 hooks, one baited with some squid, the other one's got a nice long juicy ragworm on. I'm going to pop that one out. I'm going to pop that one out further, and then the other one in closer. The other one's baited exactly the same, except it's got slightly smaller hooks. These are size 1s, the other's got size 2s on. So we'll give that a go and see what happens. There's actually a really nice cooling breeze here this morning. It's still 17 degrees and it's just coming up to 4:45 in the morning. So that was part of the plan really, to avoid the heat. Get down there, do a little bit of early fishing. I've had several vicious taps on that right hand rod. And then it's all stopped, so I might pull that in and have a look and just check the baits. No, nothing on there. Baits look alright. Not all these little flies about here. Feeling that drop from when it hit the water, I reckon we're in probably 10 or 12 foot of water there where that right hand rod is. And I know from when I've done the bass video that there was a clean patch of sand on that right hand side. And what I'm sort of aiming to do is get it on the edge of that patch of sand near the darker area, which is either weed or rock on the bottom. Straight out in front is a little bit more broken ground, and so I think you can sometimes here apparently experience tackle losses, but there you go, that's part of it. Well, I just brought the left hand rod in and checked the bait. It was all intact, so I just refreshed it a bit and cast it out. I've hit it a little bit further and it's almost straight away started little taps and rattles, so it's probably tiny little fish pecking at the bait. When I've had the bream before, the bites have been really sharp attacks, if you like. 2 or 3 really sharp pulls, then nothing, then 2 or 3 really sharp pulls again. The sun's just about starting to come up now over there in the east, so I've got fairly high ground blocking me out today, so I'll get at least a couple of hours in the shade. There you go, there's the little culprits. I've had these little dodgy little bites, well not dodgy little bites, but finicky little bites, virtually ever since I got here this morning. So the little rafts, but pretty little fish. That's a start. I shall now rebait that one, put it back out on the spot. Took the ragworm, my money would have been on the squid. So let's put another ragworm on that bottom hook, get it back out on that little sand patch. Very fierce, jaggy little bites. As if there's swarming around it, probably more than one. But that's a start. What I'm going to do as well, while it's in, let's just take that down a little bit to a smaller piece of squid. That's quite a big clump. If it is little tiny little rats and things, they're not going to be getting that in their mouths. Let's get that back out. I think I'll check that left arm rod as well. Yeah, that's solid. That's not coming back. Well, that set of gear is lost, I'm afraid. I was warned it was a little bit rough out there. I think I'm going to concentrate on the right hand rod and maybe move it over a bit and squeeze the left hand rod in on that sand patch as well. I've got another little tap on the right hand rod then. Yeah, I think that ground out there is a little bit rough. I've just put the leader on and I'm just going to deal with that right hand rod. Both baits are mullered. No doubt those rafts again. So let's get another worm on and refresh that squid. Keep plugging away. Absolutely cracking ragworm. Let's have a look at that. I think I'm just going to nip hook that. Stop it bunching up. I'm just going to put a very thin strip on and hook it once. Like that. Let's see what that brings. So I've had to replace the leader on that, which I lost. Another guy just turned up, he's doing a bit of lure fishing. I'm just going to concentrate on that one rod for a bit. There, out of the way. I've just brought that round now, so it's like 45 degrees. It should sharp them little picky little bites. I'm also going to slacken the line up a bit because there doesn't seem to be much tide run across here at the moment, so it's just tight to the tip now. Okay, right, since I lost all the gear on that other rod, and I've put this one in, positioned it slightly differently, I've had two absolute slam down bites on that and missed them both. The first one lifted the butt off the concrete. There's no way it couldn't be hooked, but no, I picked it up, there was nothing there. Brought it in, rebaited, cast out. I was sitting there waiting and it's gone again. Same thing, I've picked up, tip bent right over, no connection. Now that's the rod with the size 2 hooks. So what I'm going to do is just change the rig over. I'm going to go onto a 3 hook flapper, and these are 3 times size 1 hooks. So rather than fish 2 rods, I'm going to fish 3 hooked. And it might also, with the slightly bigger hooks, improve the hooking ratio, which at the moment is very low. So what I'm not now doing is just straightening out and sorting out this 3 hook flapper, and then I'm going to get that in, and I'm going to sit right on the rod. It's very encouraging. There it goes again. Look. Another beautiful little wrasse. Let's get him unhooked. I don't know, well, that was a very similar bite, so it obviously is these that are pulling it off the rest. Tight little bony mouths. A slightly bigger one, that one. So there he is. Lovely little wrasse. Okay, you might notice I've got my hoodie on now. It's not that it's cold, but there's this a breeze blowing up round that corner. Because it's been so warm in the last few days, it actually feels a lot cooler, but there you go, can't have everything. Moan if it's hot, moan if it's cold. Right, so yeah, proper old school 3 hook boom rig. I'm going to bait that up now and get that out, see if I can pick something a little bit bigger. I'm going over to match style tactics now. So while that rig's out, I'm going to rebait the second rig, ready to just swap over if I get a fish. Time's ticking on now, it's 6:30. So I'll probably go for another couple of hours, and that'll be enough for today. Certainly no mistaking about it when they go for it. And what I'll do with the second one, I'm going to tip it with a little bit of squid. Just as a little change. Still targeting a bream if possible. So that's the next rig ready to go on. Well, after that little flurry of bites, it's all gone a little bit quiet. I've now put on a slightly lighter rig, as in hook links. So 15-pound hook links on there now. Size 1 hook still. But I've gone over to a 2 up, 1 down. I've put ragworm on the bottom and the middle, and a little bit of squid on the top. See if I can tempt another bite. So we're now an hour and a half down from high tide. I'll just about now start making out that patch of sand. And that's where that rod's positioned, right on the edge of that patch. When the bites come, they're just out of the blue. Sometimes get a slightly little tap and bang, over the tip just goes right over. It's sort of like carp fishing, tip goes right round. Looks like a lot of the commercial boats are now heading out for a day's sport. Several over there, it's quite busy now. All of a sudden everyone sort of woke up. It's around about 7:30 now, so things are beginning to liven up. The temperature's beginning to rise already, and not surprisingly the action on the rods has slowed right down. So as I said, water's dropping away now, and you can clearly see the sand patch down there. You've got rocks there onto the sand, and it then goes out into rough ground again. So there's a massive great patch of sand just there right in the centre. That's where I've been putting the baits, on the edge of that. If you go any further out, as soon as you get out, you know, this sort of area here, it's very rough, and I've lost a set of gear this morning, so I've avoided that. That runs right round into Tottenham Pier. One of my next sessions are probably going to be past the pier and into this rocky section up here. I'll take the lure rod up there and have another go for bass. Apparently that's supposed to be quite good. There's the hump, there's the sun. The lure guy still thrashing the water to a foam. Up there on that promenade. As I say, I don't think he's had anything. I haven't seen him catch. He might have done. So yeah, probably give it another half an hour and then pack away. The little wrasse have saved the blank today. Yeah, if I don't see you no more, I'll see you on the next session.